Makes a lot of money.
Let's start this. It's that time for the most interactive podcast on Twitch with your host, Clay Donnie, our OG mod,
Kmart
and yours truly on the switchboard. Coming to you from our live studio, Las Vegas, Nevada.
That just shows you did not hear anything you said about the music.
No, he was away. Good. This is the me with my shopping cart going down the hall. Mm-hmm. Just ambient music. Okay. oh, hi, Carol. How you been? The kids good? Okay. Ooh, so much sugar. Can't have that. Okay.
Yeah. GMO.
Clearance.
Extra GMOs. I like those. All right. All right. Clearance aisle.
Clearly, Clay does a lot of grocery shopping.
I do actually.
Yeah.
I do the majority of the grocery shopping in our house. I'll have you
know. Are you the cook at your house? Would you say you cook more than?
I cook more, but I don't do all the cooking. She also helps out, so it's nice. Yeah. It's all about a partnership, people. Okay. Partnerships, two-way street. Next time on How to Have an Amazing Life with Clay.
How to have an amazing life. Meanwhile, your dog's looking at you like, yeah, amazing.
My dogs are probably
traits.
Now go get me kibble.
They're both probably sleeping in a nice warm house because it's cold in Las Vegas right now. So you're welcome, dogs.
It has been cold, huh?
Yeah.
We're like in the middle of, what is it, March now? And
we are, yeah.
It's still cold over here, so I don't even know what the hell's going on.
Now, for East Coast people or people who actually have normal weather patterns, it's 53 right now. That's not really cold. I know. Okay, that's like that's like slightly less warm for normal people.
I'll tell you where. I'll tell you what temperature it is here.
I was going to say
63 degrees here on the East Coast.
That's nice.
So somehow roles are reversing around the world.
It's weird, but and Joel, you're from California originally, or you just spent a lot? Yeah, so it's
up to no good.
I mean, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's our slogan when you get to the town.
Just like in that song, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. But no, it's like in Las Vegas, it's kind of fun because we don't have normal weather. It's just hot. Right. So it's like whenever it's under 60, people are losing their minds in this town, and they're bundled up with 17 layers, and it's it's 58 degrees outside, guys. This is shorts weather, okay? Yeah. It's and people are like, oh my God, it's a blizzard.
You don't know the cold.
It's a tundra. We're all freezing to death.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I'm done with the cold.
The cold.
Let it be warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where everybody else is from. In the chats, put up what state you're from, and then
state or country, whichever.
Yeah, or a different country. I know Yoginsha.
Yeah.
Yoginsha's here from the Deutschland.
He's from Deutschland. Und ja.
Dude, the city Clay hates the most. God, there's so many of those.
Did you have a list? What the hell?
Now, I know BK's from California, and so it's if he says he's from LA, and it's I do hate Los Angeles. That's why.
Los Angeles.
It's Los Angeles is just a garbage city. So it's I totally get that.
I mean, it had E3. That was pretty bad too. Walking and traffic. Yeah. It took us fucking 50 minutes to get from a mile away over to the convention center.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's Los Angeles is the worst.
E3 though, I will miss going through all the booths, but I will not miss walking. That
or just for anybody out there who's never been to an E3, have you ever really wanted to see something and then you have to wait in line for 5 hours?
Yeah.
That's literally E3 on repeat right there. It's oh, hey, let's look at that line. And then like an hour later, you see it for like 30 seconds because that's all they let anybody see it for. And then they're like, cool. Oh, hey, let's go look at that line.
Yeah. At least they give you something pretty to look at every once in a while, you know, like
give you a free swag or something.
Booth babes or like some random.
It's so weird now, right?
Swag or something.
In the day and age that we're living in, like booth babes. Back then, it was like maybe even a decade ago. What, like they were still doing it at CES for a while.
They probably still are. I mean, like
but
I
it's
don't
just
know.
like it just feels so weird. Like here you go to an electronic show or a video game show, and you get up to the booth, and then hey, scantily clad women. I mean, I'm not trying to get into a philosophical like debate about like misogynistic and whatnot, but it's just like you don't know anything about these products, and if you do, you're gonna surprise the hell out of me.
That was more annoying than anything.
Right.
Because like, and I don't know if you were there at the time or if you were like at another booth or something like that, but it was like, we were checking out the new Splinter Cell game. And this is how long ago that was. It was like, it was either Conviction or Blacklist or something. I forgot which one it was.
Right.
But like, there weren't like a million people around. And so there was like an empty station where I could check it out. And there was this booth babe who was like, just endlessly talking to me about Splinter Cell, and everything she said was wrong. And I'm like a fan of Splinter Cell, and it's like, but I know her job is to sit there and like give me information about the game, to like get me interested in the game,
right? Like it's not.
They're trying to sell me on the game, right? But the entire time she's like, so you play this guy, Sam Fisher, and he's the CIA guy. And I'm like, and I'm like playing it. I'm like, he actually works for the NSA. It's fine. You know, and it's like, but yeah, and he's on this revenge mission because his father got killed. And I'm like,
gave her a script to read out, and it's just
okay.
like,
All right. I'm not, again, to clarify, it wouldn't matter if it was a guy or a girl, right?
Yeah.
It's just the fact that you're here, you're paid, you don't know anything about the product, and yet you're trying to speak to it as if you do for like the last 3 days that you had a script that you had to memorize.
Yeah, just smile and point to the gameplays, and I'll go play it.
Okay, all right.
But
fine.
like when you start opening your mouth, you better know what you're talking about, right?
That's the other thing. Is like there are so many nerds walking around here that if you paid them, they'd sit there gladly telling you about the game.
Yeah,
maybe not as eye appealing.
Yeah, but
I guarantee there'll probably be some girls who are fans of that, and they would
blow
be 10 times better.
Mind.
Yeah.
And
were
it's
you
just
at
like,
were you with me and Cinderkin when we were at the booth for the Shinron Kagura games?
I don't think I was. I think I was checking out something else.
Yeah, so we were there, and Shinron Kagura, if anybody knows about that, it's this. I know nothing about this franchise, if it's an anime or a manga or whatever, but they're a series of action games where you play these like scantily clad Japanese chicks with big boobs, and like you go fighting stuff. And one of the games,
I remember that. I was just like, "Is this allowed?"
It was so funny. The booth, they knew what they were doing, right? It was hilarious. But but we were there because one of the games they had was called Shinron Kagura Bon Appetit, which is a rhythm-based game set in a Iron Chef type environment. So the girls with the big boobs are cooking. And it's like a rhythm game, and it's super fun. I love the game.
Look that up in private window. So.
Do the right click incognito, you know. But it was like,
it's awesome.
Super Kagura was awesome, yeah. But the games are really funny too.
Story, right? Yeah.
Well, I will say, Bon Appetit is a super fun game, and it's always on sale on Steam in case anybody wants to check it out. It's like $5. But it was like we were there because the girl was like calling me and Cinderkin over, and and she was all dressed up like one of them and stuff like that, and she knew everything about the series. Like she spoke Japanese, and she was like, she knew everything that was going on. She was answering questions for us, and it was like and she was cosplayed up and everything like that. But it was like she knew what she was talking about, and we were like, "This is
dude.
they did a good job hiring this girl. Like, she knows exactly what's going on." And then she showed us like all the different games, because there was like their publishing house had like a number of different games. But once she showed us the Bon Appetit game, we were like, "I'm buying this. When does this come out? Like, this is fantastic."
I think like we were just blown away by how, I mean, this person, like how knowledgeable she was about it, and then how much she had charisma and personality, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, dude, she's like somebody who's a fan of the game. That's all that's all we're saying. Like, but it's whatever, right? Like, you're talking about people that like heads that just want the money, and they're like, you just toss something at them. They don't care.
Yeah.
If it was a choice between booth eye candy and swag, I'd go for the swag.
Oh yeah.
10 times out of 10.
Yeah, dude. Okay, look. Booth eye candy. It's sure, like as a heterosexual male, sure, that's nice and all, but I have a phone. If I just really need boobs in my face, I can fix 5. It's like literally.
It's free. I mean, there's multiple websites here.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
99% of the internet is right there. It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if that percentage is still the same now that we're in this 2020 era. Like,
I don't think that's affected anything whatsoever.
You don't think so? You don't think like it's 90, it's 1% less.
Yeah. Yeah. It's now 98% of the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoginsha says, yes, Sinran Kagura's story is quite good, but the fan service is part of its identity too. That's good to know. Yeah. Like, I've only played about 3 or 4 of the games now. The regular series, where it's kind of like a Dynasty Warriors type game. It's like you just run around and you beat things up, and then you go back, and then there's like a really funny story about things that happen, and then somebody like undresses. It's like, but
interesting. I will say that.
But I will say, Sinran Kagura Bon Appetit. Check it out on Steam. Game is awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to game releases.
That was like a 15-minute segue, by the way.
We apologize.
I think it's great. I think we should start with things that we've done and start talking with the chat and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
I'm down.
But yeah, game releases. Ready? RBI Baseball 21. Not a big sports game fan, and plus,
I'm just gonna lay here. Y'all have fun.
I have played a handful of fun baseball games in my life, and they were all from like the 80s to early 90s, when they were more like arcadey.
Yeah. Not so technical.
I am not a fan of like the simulation sports series. Yeah. Like, I will play NBA Jam all day, but once you put like NBA 2K in front of me, it's like you've lost all the fun for me. It's like,
I guess the only sports game that I really enjoyed was NBA Jam.
Mutant League Football.
No, close. NFL Blitz was
NFL
fun.
Blitz, which was that was Midway also. Right. Like the same. They also did NHL Hits.
Yep. But I mean, those kind of games are fun. But when you get to like the really technical stuff, it's just too much for me. Like, I'm just trying to play a game within a game. You know what I mean?
There's and I'm getting the name of it right now. I think it's Insert Coin. That's it. It's Insert Coin. Yeah. Thank you, Google. If you want to check something out, there is a documentary that came out last year called Insert Coin, and it's all about Midway games throughout the 90s. So it even includes all of their like Mortal Kombat stuff as well.
Right.
Yeah. NBA Jam, because like they had a huge arcade presence back in the 90s.
This is on YouTube or what?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
I know when it was originally released, it was part of the Alamo Draft House, which is this like legendary, crazy historic theater in Texas, and it was part of their streaming service that you had to pay for. I'm sure it's available in other forms on the internet.
We'll have to check it out. Insert Coin, right?
Insert Coin. Yes.
Midway's rise to fame.
So yeah, if anybody does have history in video game history, which I definitely do, I love watching documentaries on video games. I saw a little bit of this one already. I haven't finished the whole thing, but it was pretty interesting so far.
Mm-mm.
Which, by the way, if you are looking for a free series of video game documentaries, Crackle, which is still around, crazy, right?
They
Crackle,
survived.
Crackle came out with one called Playing with Power, and it's all about the history of Nintendo, and it goes even back to like the 1800s, like when they first started.
Mhm.
Like it's 5 episodes, and they're all about an hour long. I saw the first one already, and it was great.
Mm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Free.
Wow.
Anyway, back to baseball.
I love
Super important.
documentaries.
If you can find a documentary on something that you're passionate about, then they're always great, right?
Dude,
So
I keep watching the Quake ones and the id Software ones and
Mhm.
like the Doom ones, and it's just like this guy makes amazing documentaries. I'll post it up on the Discord if anybody wanted to watch them, but they are like hours long, and I'm just like, I did not know that.
that is so fascinating.
Oh my god, mega textures.
Pixels.
Who'd have thunk?
Ultra pixels. It's so easy. Yeah.
All right. So
But yeah, no,
baseball.
there's RBI baseball 21. Similar to you, Joe, probably Mel. I know nothing about the series aside from when I played RBI baseball on the NES back in the 80s. I know nothing about this. I don't know what's different. I'm sure the rosters have updated. I know nothing about. It has balls. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Ben. It was like Ollie from Family Guy. Like, what's this game have, man? It's got balls. Thanks, Ollie.
thanks, Ollie. Back to us.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's typical to normal sports games of this day. It's probably just a roster change.
Probably it's probably just like the certain.
It's probably just
area.
updated teams.
Yeah.
But that should tell you something, that the demographic for these kind of games are specifically to baseball fans and no one else, because it's not like they have a feature that is just going to be all like, and we have first-person shooter bats, first-person shooter views on the bat. It's not trying to be anything other than baseball.
Yeah, I have one buddy of mine. He's a former coworker who actually does like playing baseball games because he's like a baseball fan in real life. They exist still. But he buys MLB The Show every year. I have yet to hear him say anything about RBI Baseball 21. But MLB The Show is actually interesting. That game is made it's made by Sony, and this past release of it, 21, is the first time that they're actually putting it on Xbox as well.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's that popular for sports fans that they were like, apparently they made a deal. Microsoft and Sony came together and said, "Hey, can we get that game too?" And it's like,
yeah. I was looking up what RBI means because I've never heard of that.
Runs batted
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what that means?
Hold off the tongue.
It's like, I know what it stands for, but what it actually means in baseball, I have no clue. Whatever, it's fine.
Exactly.
Yoginch is talking about. By the way, I just wanted to put this out there. He's all Germans play is Call of Duty and FIFA. Hard to find fighting game friends here. Online, bro. Cinderkin will play fighting games with you literally all day of his life because that is his jam.
And then if you beat him, he'll probably tell you that the internet is trash and it's laggy.
If you happen to beat him, which I will give him full credit, he is amazing in fighting games.
Oh yeah.
If you beat him, it will be super fun for me. So I need that to happen.
You need to record that in the background.
Yeah, I can beat him in old fighting games like Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, stuff like that. But newer stuff, just he will wipe the floor with me 10 out of 10 times. I beat him once or twice in the newer Killer Instinct game because I found like one weakness of his, but after that he just destroyed me, so it was fine.
He doesn't grab cancel.
No, he has issues combo breaking short combos. So I only hit him.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I only open up like under 10 hit combos on him, just like that, or I'll get like 2 auto linkers in, and then I just drop the combo completely just to do damage on him and then walk away.
Because the chance of him breaking it is a lot less, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. For those of you who know Killer Instinct, you know some of these work.
I know, but you'll get it. I can put you in contact with him if you'd like, because he loves fighting games.
Yeah. All right, let's get on.
Next one.
Hit me up on Discord, okay?
Yeah.
Hit me up on Discord. I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Nintendo World. Clay, you like Nintendo World, right?
Super Nintendo World. Mel.
Finally.
Okay.
have
Yeah.
Hey, I had to come up with something here.
It's all good. And yes, I love Nintendo, and I'm super excited for this. Last week we talked about how Super Nintendo World Orlando could be out by 2025, which is really cool. We also talked a few weeks ago about how the Osaka, the first location, was being delayed indefinitely. Well, it just so happens indefinitely is next week. So Super Nintendo World Osaka.
Like,
yeah, it's they will be open on the 18th of March. So next week.
Where's that meme? That word.
Oh, from Princess Bride. Like, you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude. So excited for those of you who can get there.
If you're in Osaka, go knock it out. Post more videos. Put them all online. I've already seen where those like amiibo wristbands that people have, those are already on eBay going for like $100.
Oh my god.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because we can't get them, you know?
I wonder when they eventually
go ahead.
When they eventually open up the one in California and Florida, will the ones from Osaka work there?
Oh, if they like region lock the amiibo or something. Yeah. I would be very surprised if they weren't the exact same product across the board. You know, because it's just it's just an NFC reader.
Yeah.
So like that's all it is. So it's probably the same code within the NFC. So American or Japanese switches will read it the same way, right?
Yeah. I don't think unless there's some sort of like firmware update or some sort of update that's required, it'll essentially be the same thing until they match on both sides.
Yeah, I would imagine they're going to be the same thing.
Right.
Because they might have like some themes or something.
Unless at some point there's like an exclusive one for each location, you know?
That's crazy.
Like this one you can only get in Japan or only Florida or whatever.
Yeah. It's not like PAL region.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like Amiibo are just NFC, so it's like they wouldn't region lock. I don't know if it's technically possible to region lock something.
That is a good question, though.
Yeah.
Amiibos from Japan work on US, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, I'm not saying it's the same technology. It's probably something a little bit different, but makes sense to me.
They're literally NFC devices because you can get a rewritable NFC card and make them Amiibo.
Right.
Yeah.
And then not only that, like even if they were locked up, you'd still buy the US version of it just for your collectors if you're that much of a collector. Yeah. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Be like, well, no, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah. And I'll buy one whenever I have a chance. Absolutely.
But not from eBay, right?
Not from eBay. No, I'll buy one when I go there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking.
Get my little Mario or Yoshi or something. Who knows? It'd be awesome.
Would any of you go to the Osaka one if you could, or would you wait until there was something? Again, this is assuming you're in the US or somewhere closer. Would you wait? I mean, if COVID wasn't even a thing, how about that? Let us know in the chat or put it in the comments.
I would wait.
Trip planned for like Japan and stuff like that, because that's one of my dreams is actually to go to Japan. I probably would if that was on my agenda.
If I was already in Japan or planning a trip to Japan, absolutely I'd go. Yeah, like same boat. But just to go to Super Nintendo World, no, I'd wait.
Yeah.
Like,
right now
it is very expensive to travel to Japan. So
is it expensive in Japan with the US dollar?
No, just traveling to Japan.
No, I know that part. Travel is always going to be a little much.
Yeah.
But once you get there, it's not like Cambodia, right? Where you're just like, oh yeah, I'll have a lobster dinner for like $1.
Oh no, the exchange rate is pretty against the American dollar as well.
Yeah, 100 yen is just $1, so you can easily calculate like how much you need to spend versus the American dollar, stuff like that.
Right.
Dark Zero says, if COVID and money wasn't an issue, I would. If money wasn't an issue, I mean, come on. Like, if you're like a billionaire, yeah, absolutely.
On my private jet, I'm just gonna go.
Like I'd be like, I would have already gone and bought my way in. You know, it's like,
You ran
hey,
in the
the,
park and
the entire
helicopter.
park is closed except for me. I go in now. Here's money. And they'd be like,
Richie-
okay.
Richie Rich status. Just
Yeah.
like, get me my Fanta drink and my Mario taco.
What did he say?
What did you say? Where's your monocle?
My monocle.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fancy I had to wear.
Show.
So fancy I had to wear 2 monocles. Wait a second.
So glasses? No, 2 monocles.
All right, let's get on with the next one.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Hey, old lady Sarah.
All right, everybody, let's move on to the next one. V1 Interactive looks like they're closing their doors. What did they produce again?
Okay, so V1 Interactive came out with a game that released last year, Disintegration.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What
I
that
don't know
is.
if anybody played it. There was an open beta for it, and that's what I played. It was a kind of like an RTS game where you piloted these like hovercraft kind of things, and you fly around a map, and you like direct troops to go and attack certain objectives around the map, and it had a single player story and like an online multiplayer mode.
Hell,
it was not that. Personal opinion, didn't like it at all. I thought it was quite boring. The multiplayer servers got shut down a few months after the game launched because nobody played it. So, and now V1 is basically made the announcement that they're going out of business, which nobody wants to hear that, right? A game developer going out of business, or because that's a bunch of people who suddenly don't have jobs. It sucks, but I can't really say I was surprised about this.
I mean, because they're in the video game industry, we feel bad for it because, I mean, people out of jobs, like Clay said. And then at the second point is just like, what could you have made? Because every company, every video game developer has made a crappy game, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not something like the good ones. The good companies are always the ones that get bounced back from that and be like, okay, we're gonna release something. But when you start off like that.
Well, think about when, did you play Lawbreakers when it came out?
Sounds familiar.
That was Cliffy B's new game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Them, is it?
No. That was Blue Streak, I think is what they were called. Cliffy created that company Blue Streak, and they created Lawbreakers, which it was like a poor man's Overwatch. It was not that good, and it died. Like they killed the game. Like it was online only, and they shut down the servers. They basically said nobody's playing it, whatever. And they went out of business. And it's like, it sucks to hear that. What's really cool is actually, if you look at this Twitter feed or this Twitter status message thingy here from V1 Interactive, there's actually a lot of people in there saying like, hey, you should go over here and because these people are hiring, and these people are hiring, and these people are hiring. So I thought that was really cool to see. Like there's still like a lot of like, oh, hey, that really sucks, but we need people on our team over here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just the community coming together.
Which is great. Yeah. But
and then I wonder what is Cliffy B doing now? You know what I mean?
Every time I see him on something, he's usually just interviewing. You know, it's like, so this Playing with Power series that I talked about on Crackle, he's like one of the people that they talk about Nintendo games with. And it's like, hey, it's Cliffy B. Where's he been? you know?
His first thing.
Last time I realized last time I heard updates from him was that he was getting married or something like that, and that was about it.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, he so every now and then we have a guy who jumps in on our chat here, Gnawman.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to him a few weeks ago. This is on Xbox Live, and he was talking about how like Cliffy should just go work for the Coalition and work on the next Gears game.
Yeah, what the hell, dude? Like
and I was like, that's a really good idea.
Did Craig Ferguson also leave already from Epic?
Rod Ferguson.
Yeah.
Rod Ferguson is now working on Diablo games at Blizzard. So yes, he is now at Blizzard.
Man.
Yeah, but I was like, Man, that's actually a really good idea. Like Cliffy should just go work for Microsoft and work on Gears 6 or or like whatever they're going to do next. Like
Yeah, I wonder.
that would be sweet.
I wonder. I wonder
Cliffy
if
B,
there's a reason why that's not
idea.
happening.
Yeah.
Well,
Because it's him, they probably let him work. So he lives in like North Carolina or something like that. They
Well,
should
then.
it's like just have him work remotely.
I'll head up there right now and tell him we need him to go back to
Mel,
Xbox.
you're like right across the line or something, right?
He's next door. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
State-wise,
That's
anyway.
insane.
all right. So next one up. Are you ready to move on?
Speaking of Xbox.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Xbox. And
Is it?
well, technically, there's one before that.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I think I have my tabs out of order then. Go on.
We're talking
Yeah, you do.
Dynasty Warriors
Oh, yeah.
live action movies.
Just a disappointment. It's like, eh.
So
Yeah.
Dynasty Warriors is coming out with a movie. Here's the
Mhm.
trailer for it. It comes out this year in China. There's no date yet on an international release. I will say this trailer, it looks ridiculous and over the top, and I love it. And it looks far more interesting than any of the games ever will to me, because these games are so boring. But yeah,
Well, the
this
games are
trailer,
The games have always focused on like heroes within these battles, right? Like just
Yeah.
different types of heroes.
these
and
like
possibly-
historical, Japanese and Chinese heroes,
Right.
But yeah, I was like, the trailer just looks so ridiculous. I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna watch that at some point.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, it looks cool. They got all the necessaries to get our attention: magic,
Yeah.
fighting, weapons.
yeah, but I was just like, okay, maybe it'll work better as a movie than as a game.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah,
If in the US, it's like top number one,
yeah,
Dynasty Warriors. How about the video game? It was a video game.
yeah. There's like a million of those now, and they're all the same game, and they're all boring. So yeah.
Aw. I think some of those games were okay, but they were definitely like something like when you look back up from looking at the screens, like how much time did I play on this game? Like
Yeah,
I just did the same thing and just kept killing the same people.
you just run in circles and just endlessly attack things, and I just charged up a special move, kaboom, people go flying, and now do that 400 more times, and then you beat that level. Okay,
And then I'm done. Yeah.
yeah,
Cool though. I mean,
very rinse repeat.
I'm glad that movies keep on taking concepts from video games, but at the same time, it's like, can you choose which video games? Because I have still yet to see like a whatchamacallit. I'm looking forward to a.
Just worried. Yeah, I'm about to say, like, what are we playing? What are you playing?
Let's move on to Xbox and ZeniMax. If you haven't heard already, a new family member came to Microsoft's Xbox
Yes,
in the form of Bethesda. And what's crazy is that gamers reap the benefits off of that day one, it seems. If you have
Yes.
Xbox Game Pass, you automatically get access to some of their AAA titles day one. Almost as
Yeah.
if this was planned, you know?
Hmm. Yes,
But-
it seems quite fast that they were able to move those in place.
And now I'm going to be able to play Wolfenstein, the second one.
Oh, you haven't played that yet?
No, I have not
New
played it.
Colossus?
Yeah.
Oh, it is so good.
I can't wait.
Oh man, yeah.
Downloaded,
Like,
preloaded it, and everything. And then in Fallout 4, I'll finally be able to get past the freaking intro screen and actually play the game.
that's cool. Yeah, so the deal actually isn't final yet, but everybody is thinking it is. But yeah, pretty much this was announced last year. Microsoft is acquiring ZeniMax Media, who owns everything, right, for like $7 billion. Earlier this week, they got all of the legal approvals out of place. So like all of the regulations and everything are now settled. They're not a monopoly. It's like they got all that approval done. Technically, the money hasn't changed hands yet. That happens later this year. But because all the legal paperwork is done, they're basically saying, cool, deal's final. Let's move forward. So yeah, if you want to look at that list, Joe, that like, so you've got I mean, there's a lot of good games on here, right? Like
Is this? Oh, you have it
Dishonored
on the
1 and 2. I was huge fans of both those games.
hmm
I don't think
Dishonored,
he's showing the list.
Oh, it's right here. There we go.
yeah, like
Dishonored 1 and 2. You got
yeah.
classic Doom, Doom 2, and Doom 64.
Mhm.
Doom 3. With, by the way, Doom 3 with the included
DLC packs?
flashlight
Oh.
mod. So that way
The,
you don't have to just carry one, switch over. Bam, bam.
duct tape mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal is on here. Surprisingly, Doom 1 is, or Doom 2016.
Doom 2016.
Yeah, it isn't on here.
It could be some kind of licensing issue, like maybe they can't bring it over yet or something. I don't know.
Possibly, but you also
Yeah.
get
Mhm.
Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, which is
Mhm.
probably going to get a bump in playership by 10.
Mhm.
And then Rage, which was also a hidden gem, I think.
That was free on Epic a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Right,
Yeah. So that's Rage 2, not the first
Rage
one.
2.
Yeah.
Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, of course. And then the Elder Scrolls Online MOBA, or no, it's not a MOBA, it's an MMO. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Evil Within, another hidden gem. You get it right there. Wolfenstein.
Have you played that?
I have not.
The Evil Within?
I downloaded it, so
Okay.
I'm waiting, so that way I can cast this.
It's
Waiting
weird.
never to play.
It's weird.
It's weird.
I don't want to know anything about the game. I just want to play it.
It has a really weird story, but it is Evil Within. I will say this: it is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Like art direction and like making things creepy looking and like disorienting. It's awesome at that. I watched Cinderkin go through both of those, like 1 and 2. I will say 2 is the superior game, but 1 is just like it's crazy. Yeah. It looks like you have Wolfenstein: The New Order, the Old Blood, and Young Blood. You don't have the New Colossus.
That sucks.
Which is part 2. Did you play New Order?
I did. I played the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, that game was great. The Old Blood was
which is DLC for it, right?
Yeah. Well, Old Blood is good too. It's like a prequel to the first one. So it's like
back when the Nazis were like in full blast.
Yeah. So if you remember in the beginning of New Order, it's still like World War II.
Yeah.
And then BJ kind of comas out for like a decade or something like that, and all that. Old Blood takes place back during the war. So
gotcha.
Yeah, but it was good.
So before the alternate timelines started to merge out, right?
Yeah, and then Young Blood, that's the co-op game.
That's the 2-player stuff with the with the girls.
Wolfenstein,
right?
Young Blood, yeah, with BJ's daughters.
Yeah.
I went through that also. I don't know if it's crossplay between Xbox and PC. If it is, I would totally play that again. I went through it on the PS4 when it first came out. You're going to need to play that co-op with somebody else because the AI for the other player is not the best.
So Resident Evil was. Okay.
Resident Evil 5. Yeah, exactly. Like Sheva is just, she tries, right?
You'll get
Gives you all the health.
2 is awful worse than the first one. I don't think it's as bad as the first one. The first
I've
one
heard that it's pretty bad.
I've only played about an hour of the first one, and I really didn't like it. And I didn't even play the second one because of that.
The first one was an even first one to me for Rage was an even less interesting Borderlands 1. Because the NPCs were bland, they had no dimension. Like, what am I supposed to do? Go do it, shooty, and then just walk out with whatever key you wanted me to have, and that was about it. But at least with Rage 2, there's more gun mechanics and all that other stuff. Maybe not as much to keep you going for more than 2 hours, but still better than Rage 1, in my opinion. You could be absolutely right about it sucking for you, but to me, Rage 2 was better.
When I sadly didn't play, but or good. I didn't play, but when I was watching a friend stream it, it looked like a really bad version of like Borderlands for me.
Mm,
It's just like it's trying to be Borderlands, but
And it was single player also.
yeah.
Yeah. So like Rage didn't even have like that kind of co-op fun you could have with Borderlands. But yeah, Xbox Game Pass, I think I'm endlessly just gonna champion how great of a deal this is. Here's these 20 Bethesda games that you have on there, but there's also like 100 other games that are on Game Pass. It's just an awesome deal. You now get both. You now get both Dishonored games. Those games are amazing. Like you should be playing Dishonored if anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, with this being said about Bethesda, and granted, you know how they said in the article, it's like, oh, it's not finalized yet or whatever. But
the money
pretty finalized if you're already offering.
They did a whole thing. Like it was on YouTube, came out like 2 days ago. It was like, here's this roundtable between Microsoft and Bethesda. It's this hour-long just talk about all the studios and all this, like how happy everybody is with all of this. Like I said, they're basically saying this is a done deal because all the legal paperwork is done. Like there's now nothing stopping them. Microsoft has $7 billion last I checked. So this is going to go through. Yeah. But that's why they're basically saying, yeah, it's done.
Man, companies having billions of dollars now. It almost seems like it happened overnight.
Yeah, no, Microsoft has $7 billion is nothing to them. Yeah. They're gonna something interesting. Phil Spector, who's like the top dog at Xbox. Phil Spencer, not Phil Spector, totally different guy. Phil Spencer, he was on this roundtable thing, and they made it clear. They were like, "Hey, well, like $7 billion is a pretty big deal. Why?" And he basically said, "Because of Game Pass. We want all of these games on Game Pass because that's clearly where they're making all their money now. Like they are making so much money on Game Pass, they're going to make that $7 billion back."
Right.
Oh yeah, they will.
But anyone for the chats or the comments, is there any game on here that you haven't played before that now you're super interested in being able to play with it on Game Pass? Let us know.
I'm looking forward to Prey. So
yeah, Prey is also another gem.
There was I think it's still available. There was a demo version of Prey that came out before the game released, where it was like the first hour of the game. It didn't carry over into like the final game or anything like that, but it was just to kind of give people a taste of what it was. I actually played it, and it's a very slow-moving game, but think of like a sci-fi horror game that's kind of like BioShocky.
Ooh, okay.
It's a weird game, but it's definitely like a thriller type game.
Gotta check that out then.
Lots of spooky stuff happening.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one, shall we? We're going to be talking about those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
somebody wanting revenge on them.
So, real quick, Yogensha, just so I don't lose it in the chat here. Yogensha tried to outright his demo solo. He played it solo, which it is a 3-player co-op game. Got a good 4 hours of fun out of it, but he met a boss in a submission that just destroyed me over and over. I'm assuming it's the boss who can heal himself. Was it that guy? Because that's yeah. Umbrals, yes, it is a 3-player game, so think of like a Destiny crew that you have. But yeah, Outriders is good. I like it. Anyway, moving on. Ninja Turtles. This came out earlier this week. Or this trailer did, like this whole announcement. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is going to be done in the same form as Turtles in Time, if you played that. Ooh. Which awesome. After this whole like cinematic deal, you're going to actually see some gameplay, and it's basically 90s style beat 'em up Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, Turtles in Time type stuff.
I like it.
Which is like, yes. this is like everything I love in video games. I love beat 'em up brawlers. Like this is my favorite genre of games there is.
Oh wow! Look at that.
So I was like, yes.
Michelangelo like just running all regular, like check this out.
I was so excited. What's really cool about this? So one, the game looks amazing, right? This is being published by .emu, who are the people, if you know that name, they also just published Streets of Rage 4 last year,
Hey, what's up?
which
Thanks for
was
the
great. Hey,
Welcome.
Maths Debater 34. Hi. Welcome me. Welcome. You are welcomed.
Do you debate maths? Is that what you do?
I mean, 34 times apparently. But that's it. No more than 34.
Yeah.
No. So .emu, who just put out Streets of Rage 4 last year, and the developers on this game, Tribute Games, they have made a bunch of games over the past few years. But one of the just if anybody says like, who are these guys? Do they know anything about beat 'em ups? They also worked on Scott Pilgrim, which was like
nice.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So I am so excited for this. It has been announced for PC and consoles. No console specifics yet, or even a release date. If you go to their website for this, it's basically them just saying, "Hey, you can wishlist us on Steam." So at some point, I really want to play this.
I like this.
I am so excited. What do you say, man?
Go to my statement. Wishlist it.
Go to your Steam wish list.
Go to your Steam. Do people actually like use that feature on Steam?
Dude, I wishlist a few things here and there because it also then you get the emails that you have like a game on your wish list which is on sale.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
So I will say that that's a very valuable function of Steam. The Nintendo Switch eShop does the same thing. It has a wish list where it'll notify you when things are on sale. Dude, last year though, like, I don't know if you watched, and I know we covered this a few months ago, but during like the Game Awards, when we covered like all the new announcements and trailers and everything like that, just about every trailer released was like, wishlist this on Steam, wishlist this on Steam, wishlist. So it's a thing. Like, I don't know if it drives numbers up for them, like, hey, we're the #1 wishlisted game on Steam or something. I don't know if people actually use that as a metric, but it's a big deal.
I think it's been a while since I've actually like looked at a game to justify using the wish list, because I didn't even know it had that feature beforehand. I thought I'd just put it on your queue and be like, oh, it's available now. Here you go. But it doesn't. I didn't know it emailed you and everything. So now it does email you. Yeah. Now I'm gonna take a look at all that other stuff and see when it
usually twice a year, the summer and winter sales. That's when I get emails from Steam and they're like, oh, hey, here's some games on your wish list. They're for sale now. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, is anybody else on the chat excited for this one? Do you have nostalgia looking at this trailer? If you did take a look at it, to me, it's all about the 4-player coin op machine cabinet. Oh, just Chuck E. Cheese, pizza time. Oh,
man.
Amazing.
90s beat 'em ups. It does not get better than that. Like, those are the best games there are.
Yeah. Coin eaters. But
eaters, but now you just pay it once and you don't have to like, endlessly feed money into a machine because stupid freaking shredder won't die.
Yeah. What was it? What was the other cabinets that were like that? Simpsons and X-Men.
Simpsons, X-Men, Turtles. Like
they were usually right next to each other most of the time. Yeah, like every single time I went to the arcade, they were right next to each other.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, and they were awesome.
And now they have those as like you can buy them from Walmart as like the little mini cabinets.
Yeah.
Those are so cool.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Oh. All right, let's move on with the next one, shall we?
Games are so fun.
Capcom is not sending out the beta invites for Resident Evil 8.
I saw this on a couple websites, and I figured it'd be nice just to have like a PSA similar to the way this article is titled here from Destructoid, but I have seen this on like 4 other websites also. Apparently email notifications from, like no reply at capcom.gmail.com or something are going out.
Some sort of phishing attack.
Yeah, basically sending beta invites for Resident Evil 8. Capcom is sending notification emails to various media outlets and video game websites saying, those are not real. Nobody click on those. This is not a thing. If you want to play an early version of Resident Evil 8, there's the maiden demo. It's for PS5 only. That's all you get.
I wish it'd be for PC.
What the hell is that about, though? Like,
they did the same thing for RE7 on the PS4. Okay. Where
they did release the demo to PC later on.
Later on.
Okay,
so,
hold on.
Yeah.
here's where I again find flaws in my logic, because I'm sure you will try, and it'll be there. But here's the thing: if you have a console that is hard to get, and you're trying to promote that game that you're trying to sell later on, wouldn't you want to expose it to all the platforms that you're destined to release on, instead of just the one that is so hard to get that only certain people can get it?
You make a valid point, but I'm going to put a but on here. It's Resident Evil 8. People are going to buy it. Like, the fact that this demo is only on the PS5, it sucks for everybody else, but it's not going to stop anybody from getting this game. Like,
I don't know, dude.
Even us PS5 people who have the demo, we already know we're going to buy it. So it's like, this affects nothing for Capcom sales. If anything, it just affects like PC people or Xbox gamers or somebody else out there saying, why can't we have this?
Genja says some publishers don't like doing betas and demos on PC because of data mining, most likely. He's not wrong.
Absolutely.
True.
Like, yeah.
There have been some pretty juicy spoilers over the years for something that was released out as a demo and ended up containing a lot of the code for the final game that revealed like weapons or metas or whatever. And it's just,
I've seen like videos for RE3 when the demo first came out.
Yeah.
There's like a ton of videos of that.
The only other part I can see why they wouldn't want to release a PC demo is because of mods and crazy vampire lady. And I'll just leave it at that.
There will be. There will be.
Which it'll be there. When the game finally releases, I think we all already know what the very first mod put out is going to be. And just, you know.
Have you I don't know if you come across it. Every single time I'm trying to watch like a Resident Evil playthrough of the original. Oh, not the originals, the new ones.
The remakes.
Yeah, there's already mods for like scantily clad, this and this and this. And I'm just like, who? One,
I got two words for you.
Hold on. One, who's spending this much time on it? And two, where can I get it?
I was gonna say, I got two words for you, bro. Nude Raider. You remember that?
Oh my god.
Nude Raider from 1996. People were already modding naked Lara Croft in very unattractively pointy boobs. You know. As long as there are PC mods, there's going to be naked people on, video games, dude. That's just how it works, right?
Yeah. Umbras has it right here. There are several outfit mods for Claire and Jill. I have it recommended to me on YouTube a lot. The algorithm knows you, Ben, and you can't really hide from it.
I know. I can see why it would be targeting you with things like that.
In private mode, Ben.
I follow you on Twitter.
There's something called incognito here.
Yeah. Oh, he don't try to hide it.
Oh no.
No. Oh, trust me. Like as soon as I walk in this room, like
yeah. Yes. Some would call it an addiction. I'm not a psychologist, right? So
where are you at, Ben?
Yeah.
All right, let's go on.
Hat.
Build-A-Bear.
Yeah. All right, let's
Speaking
go on
of
to
sexy
one.
stuff.
Yeah. Hi. Oh my god. All right, let's go on to this one. This one's kind of cool because Animal Crossing is doing I guess what you would say, a partnership with Build-A-Bear now.
Crossover? Because it's crossing animals.
Hold on.
All right, good night, everybody. No, I saw this and I was like, we just have to mention this because this is more of like Nintendo marketing genius stuff. Mm-hmm. And we don't know who started this, if it was Nintendo or if it was Build-A-Bear or whatever, but this was like, this is going to make both companies a lot of money.
Oh, yes.
Like Animal Crossing Build-A-Bear. I was like, really? Like, it took them long enough to come up with that,
I mean, this just opens it up for a lot more than just Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like chibi style characters in video games that they could make a killing with.
They could
Well,
build a Yoshi,
Yeah.
Build-A-Bear has
build a
already
Donkey Kong.
partnered up with Nintendo before with Pokemon stuff,
Mhm.
so it's not surprising they would do Animal Crossing.
Right.
Yeah. But
It's just because you have so many different groups. Like you have the collectors groups, right?
Mhm.
Like Build-A-Bear collectors edition, like something Animal Crossing or Pokemon is definitely something to go in person and grab that for, instead of just like your regular orders online where it's just like, oh, I found this hard to find thing. It's like you're literally building this thing.
I have a Build-A-Bear Charmander and stuff like that I got for Christmas a couple years ago from Ben. Thing about it, though, is their little sound box died this year.
Mhm.
So
Was that a custom
Yeah.
recording or something like that?
no, it's just the Charmander just saying Charmander multiple times, but
Can
it
you-
had a weird sound.
Can you like replace
Good.
the battery or anything? Or
I don't think we can.
no, I don't know.
I'm sure it's in there somewhere, but
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
just
but
gonna
I
have
don't
to-
want to open it up because he had to
I'll
order
open it
this
up.
online.
I mean, ship me that. What are you doing?
I mean, I'll just take a knife and whatnot. And just like, yep, up here's the
bet you
problem right
would.
here.
Tear open, rip the thing out, battery there, duct tape. Here you go, Mel.
Good as new.
Fixed. You're welcome. Yogensha says he fell off Animal Crossing so hard. Too much work, but the first 2 months were amazing, though. I was in Animal Crossing the other day for the first time in months. I finally got the last things in my museum, and they're doing the Mario event right now, so I just bought like all the Mario crap. But yeah, I think it's time for me to stop playing Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't touched it in the last few months.
Dude,
Yeah.
the revolving door on brand new video games and how long you can spend on it and popularity out there is just like driving how long you're going to be able to play. It's only the true dedicated people who just stick to one game forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Otherwise
Like,
known as World of Warcraft players.
true dedicated poor souls. Wandering Raven. No.
Wandering Raven, Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves.
Dude, he
There we
played
go.
that. Yeah, they-
BK Melendez, FIFA.
I quit ages ago. Okay, then why are you there every expansion?
Why were you?
Bro.
Okay, right. It's all good. It's all good.
All right. Let's get on with the next one. So EA employees selling ultra rare FIFA cards to players. Oh, employees. So I'm thinking that this is sanctioned by EA, right? This is allowed?
No. So this is what is, and I had to read up on a lot of this stuff because I think I've played FIFA once and it was like on the Genesis. That's how long ago it was. And it was this is EA Gate, which is going on now because if there's like a problem, it's a gate. Apparently a FIFA employee got in trouble for so FIFA started doing cards a little while ago, which are kind of like their loot box system to unlock like a better player or function or team or something. A FIFA employee was selling like ultra rare cards to players on the internet, which are like, but for like a lot of money, like over 1,000 euros.
1,700 euros.
Yeah. So like some dude was like, yo, I got the codes for like ultra super rare soccer people or football, who wants them? And the people were like, here's money. And they were like, there you go, bros. So EA is currently investigating. They haven't like, oh, we found that dude. He's going to get sued and fired and blah, blah, blah. They're still investigating. But I thought this was really interesting because you don't hear about stuff like this all the time. You hear about people complaining about the card system in general. Like, I think there was a thing a month or two ago about how like some European government was saying like, it's considered gambling and we're going to ban it. And, and EA's like, no, we're going to fight that because it's not gambling. And it's a whole thing. But yeah, apparently
Gensha.
scammers within a scammer company. Imagine my shock. Exactly. Yeah.
Le shock.
Le shock. Yeah. Oh, what? I never saw that. Yeah, but this is not normal business practice for EA because they want people to have to keep buying random packs of cards. So, for like loot box mechanics.
AKA, they
So
don't want a middleman.
EA is getting involved because this should piss them off to their very core. This is less money for them. Like John Doe, who works for EA, is making money. EA is not. Like this is a big deal for EA because they're like, wait a minute, one of our employees is losing us money. Like this is
Oh, dare they?
like, like
already.
off with his head. This is going to be like, I'm very concerned.
You have to be at a pretty decent level just to get access to these codes. Then,
well, we don't know, right? Like it could just be some random programmer who like knows the algorithm behind the codes, right?
Yeah,
could be.
And these codes are for players that could actually change the outcome of a game, like stats, or these are just more like because I just have a digital code for the card. Are these actual like?
I don't know.
I mean, if anyone plays FIFA and understands the card system, is this cosmetic?
Is this a big deal or what? BK, where you at?
Let us know.
Is this cosmetic or is this actual like game-winning, breaking kind of situation where you just get like top-tier players and destroy a game?
I would imagine because like so some of these like ultimate team cards are like legendary football players like throughout the last few decades. So I'm assuming if you just outfit your team with all of them, you could just decimate anybody in your path.
Yeah,
but then again, how valid are these cards in like a tournament setting? Like if you spend 10 grand buying elite level players from the undercover EA guy, could you enter like a FIFA tournament and win a prize of like 20 grand?
I would assume there is a point where kind of like in regular fighting games, like how Eddie Gordo was not allowed for a long time.
Because he's like, BS.
Because he's crap and I could never block him.
Good. Button mashing punk.
Yeah. But I would imagine some of those cards are like not allowed in tournaments just because of the ridiculousness of how easy it is to win with that player.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, would EA outright ban anybody from using them in a tournament? That kind of thing. Or is it literally pay to win at that point?
Yeah. I think that'd be up to the tournament and who's hosting it, right?
Yeah.
But we'll have to check it out and figure out what's going on with that. But yeah, BK, thanks for the information on that one. Huh.
I mean, it is like the only thing he plays. So I figured he would have.
I mean, why not? I don't see the point of Ultimate Team stuff if it becomes worthless with the next game coming out.
It's a very valid point.
I don't understand the whole point of coming out with a next game when you can literally update rosters and stuff like that, and it's just the same game.
But they'll charge you again, so they make more money.
I mean,
that's the point. Like FIFA 22 is going to be FIFA 21 that you pay another $60 for, plus microtransactions, plus everything.
That's literally like unless it's like some sort of like how Madden is, right? Madden is literally the exact same thing. You're just changing rosters up unless you're doing some sort of like
that's what these games are.
Graphics thing.
That's all these games are. But you can also look at it like this. If you're playing like Modern Warfare and you pay for the season pass or whatever it's called, the battle pass or whatever, and you level and level and level, and you're like level 400 million in Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Next year, when Black Ops 5 comes out, nobody's going to be playing Modern Warfare anymore. So you just spent a crap ton of money buying battle passes and leveling up for them to forget about that character. Then you start over again at level 1 on the next Call of Duty.
I don't know if I feel like that's a little bit different when you're literally talking about like your own stats because of your own skill level, because of what time you put into the game versus you're literally buying somebody a name of a roster that comes with its own stats And all it is literally a small update or an online update to the roster because they've changed teams, and that's it. You didn't do anything to develop that player. It was literally just pay to win. That's basically the difference. I can't pay to win Call of Duty. You know what I mean? There are no weapons that are just like, oh, Uber freaking Galahorn on Destiny 2. I'm going to buy it instead of just like raiding for it, which was the only way you could get it unless you bought it from like a rare weekend thing.
Oh,
but at that point, it was Xur, yes. Xur made it available, and he did it twice in 1 week, and I was just like, yes, all the Galahorns for all my characters.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny 1.
I remember when that happened.
It's a little bit different. You know what I mean? So skill sets versus play to win. I don't agree with it. I think it should only be cosmetics. Hey, I'm able to get this player, but he doesn't come with Uber stats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, let's move on to the next one because we're about to save you some money off of the game. 100% of off that game. Yeah,
100% of off.
Metro 2033. This game came out back in 2010. Wow, it's been more than a decade already since this game came out. I'm old.
You are old.
Okay.
It happens, bro.
I'm getting there. Damn it.
Hey.
But anyways, this game. I remember this game being more or less like kind of like a benchmark for PC gamers at some points because they were utilizing, instead of it being Crysis, it now became this because it had physics and all the other stuff. So
Umbrous is ready to make you feel even older. In 12 years, we'll be living in 2033.
Stop!
I just turned 30, sir.
Arthritis.
Yo, Gensha, shut up, Joel. I'm not almost 31 at all.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, do you remember when we first started out and Yogensha was on our chats the first time like he was on our chats and whatnot? He still reminds me. It's like, oh yeah, I was in high school when you guys were on. And I'm like,
I wasn't old like you all.
I just graduated when I met you guys, so.
All right, let's move on.
But yeah, Metro, did you ever play it?
I played it.
I played a little bit of it, yeah.
Yep. I've never played them, but I've watched a lot of it. Horchops, who, longtime friend of Nerd Junkies, he's a big fan of the series. So yeah, he has all three of them. I've watched him go through those. They're pretty cool. I think the one thing I remember most about those is it's got to be such a pain having to worry about your air filter all the time in those games. Like you're just constantly worried about your filter dying, or like, I don't have any more filters. What am I doing?
It's almost like the batteries in Outlast. It's the
camcorder batteries.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, I gotta find more batteries, or else I won't be able to see my death.
Yeah. The third one, Umbra says he forgot about the third one because Epic scooped that up. I watched Horchops go through the third one on the PS4. That was a really buggy game. I don't know if it ever got fixed, but Metro Exodus was the third one, and it was more of like an open world game than just like linear, subway system kind of thing.
It's called Metro Exodus.
Metro Exodus. That was the third.
Dying Light is the newest. Isn't that Metro Dying Light? That's the latest one, right?
Wait, which?
Are you thinking of the?
Hold on. Or is Metro Exodus the fourth one? That's not out yet.
I don't know. Because I could have swore Dying Light was the latest one, unless there's something completely different. I could be wrong. I'm not.
No, Dying Light's I thought Dying Light was that first-person zombie game.
Yeah.
Could be.
Hold on.
Because wasn't Dying Light one of our viewers was like kept.
Metro Exodus is the third one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last Light That's
Yeah,
Redux.
Metro. Yeah, there was
Okay,
2033
okay.
Last Light in Exodus. Yeah.
Too many lights, man.
That's
Screw all
because
these
we had a
lights.
viewer that kept like trying to get us to promote it or something.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah. That was a while ago too. I remember that. Yeah.
And then
Metro's.
we had somebody
Yeah.
in the chat who was all like, "State of Decay."
State of Decay!
Oh, that's it.
Dude, and they came back in the chats like
That's right.
a year ago, and they were like, "Hey, State of Decay!"
State of Decay! We were like, "Oh, you're the State of Decay guy." Nice. State of Decay!
That was when the game first was even announced. It wasn't even out yet. Yeah.
I've never played those games.
You never played them?
I think they're both on Game Pass, or just 2, maybe.
Yeah. No, I think 2 is on Game Pass. I own State of Decay 1. I played a lot of State of Decay, which I was kind of surprised because I was like, that's not my kind of game.
It's a open world zombie survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has like
it
has a lot of RPG elements.
Okay.
And base building elements.
Okay.
To progress through the story. But yeah. Andre plays 2 a lot.
Okay.
So Mr. Rage Pants on our Discord, if you guys want to play with him, he's always looking for co-op groups. But yeah, that's dude, cool. That's cool. 100% off. Add to my account. I'm pretty sure I already have this.
I already owned it myself, but for anybody out there, this deal is only until Monday.
Yeah.
So
get on
it. It's just like a weekend thing they're doing where like all the Metro series, even they did these like Redux games where like they up the graphics and everything like that. There's a big weekend sale going on Steam right now for the entire Metro series. So if you want the original 2033, this is not the new the remaster, but it's the original. It is currently free till Monday.
Yeah. Looks like Yogencha says, "Oh, by the way, that Alien co-op game looks good." Did we talk about that last week?
We did last week.
We did, yeah.
The fire team.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Here's hope.
You don't want another Aliens.
It's a different team.
Colonial Marines, no.
Yeah, Colonial Marines. It's a different team than that. By the way, speaking of Colonial Marines, which I've never played.
There you go.
I never played it, but thanks, Mel. We're going to tangent for a second. Did you all hear about, and this is like a few years ago that this was discovered, some dude, somebody figured out the reason why the game is so broken. And basically there's a typo in the game's code. And like,
no way.
No, there is. So a mod was released just to fix that typo. And it like basically corrected the aliens' attacking behavior. So it was like a better game because of it. It was still a broken mess of a game, but it corrected like a lot of the game just based on that.
How do you not code verify that?
Yeah, it was aliens, colonial marines. Typo.
What the hell? How do you?
Yeah,
no
it's
way. It couldn't be that simple.
No, it's like if you Google it, which I just did, I'm going to see if I can find what it was. It was like, it was. Where is it?
So I can see like
attach. Yeah, so this guy, James Dickinson, discovered erratic xenomorph AI may have been caused by a typo in their coding. The game's config file, there's a piece of coding that read attach pawn to tether. Really should have been spelled attach pawn to tether. Like the tether had, it was like misspelled. And then he fixed that, and it's like,
and now
the correcting the code makes a big impact on how the aliens respond. They're more aggressive and actively hunt the player and try to outflank and ambush them.
So like the way that they were corrected that
typo. Yeah. And I was like, get out of here. That's crazy.
Dude, that just, I mean, at some point, that has to tell you something about whoever was developing it, right? Like,
yeah, this like team, this team that was like subcontracted from Gearbox to make it and everything. Yeah, apparently that was like, the game still wasn't that great after they fixed that, but that one fix actually corrected some of the stuff in the game. I thought that was crazy.
He's probably still going to try to look more into like why it's so buggy, and maybe he might make it better. Who knows?
Yeah.
Wow.
Turok 2 multiplayer 1. Get out of here, Turok. Series is garbage.
Mr. Ray Chance is in the YouTube chats. We talking games? I dabble on it. This guy's building moats across continents over in Valheim. He needs to.
Is he really?
He needs to chill the hell out. I'm just like, holy crap, dude! Like, we only have. When you zoom out in Valheim, it's like an entire like the continent that we're on looks like this tiny, right? It's just like, oh yeah, I've already uncovered like 25% of it. You can just see like lines going all the way around certain bases, and I'm just like, calm down.
I guarantee the next time that you go in, he's just built an entire city.
Yeah, so like,
For you.
And it's going to be like a futuristic city, like with like hoverboards and everything like that. You're going to be like, this isn't even in the game, dude. How'd you do this?
And this is our Pilates bar.
Like trees, rope.
Yeah. This is the Big Five Sporting Goods. They're going out of business, but I decided to build it over here. All right, let's get on to the next one with Square Enix. This is actually our last story for this week. Square Enix is hosting...
Square Enix presents.
What are they presenting exactly?
So similar to what Nintendo does with their Nintendo Direct, Sony does Sony State of Play. This is like Square Enix has announced they're going to do their own show now called Square Enix Presents, and it comes out next week. It'll be out on Thursday. And this little infograph there that they have on their thing will kind of show what they're going to debut. So we have an all new Life is Strange, Outriders, which they're publishing, right. Marvel's Avengers, which, if anybody cares, the Tomb Raider 25th anniversary. We talked about it a few weeks ago how it's they're going to be doing all these events on Tomb Raider. New Square Enix Montreal games, a Just Cause mobile game, Balan Wonderworld, which is not that exciting, but maybe more. They're going to be, I think they already said that they're going to be talking about the new Final Fantasy
14
game. No, not 14. It was, what's that game called? A Taito showcase. The one that's basically Final Fantasy 16. Like the one that got announced during the Game Awards. I forgot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's, they said it's going to be like 40 minutes long. See what's coming up for Square Enix. Cool. Maybe they're going to release like 90 more DLCs for Final Fantasy 15 because why not? They've already got like 400.
I wonder if on this little infograph that they're mentioning not necessarily their heavy hitters, because I know Outriders is probably something that they're banking on, and Marvel's Avenger was a huge cash flow freaking partnership. But everything else,
it was,
everything else is just like kind of. I mean, the only other thing that kind of grabs my eye is just Cause Mobile. Is like, if you're talking about Just Cause literally just being on mobile, is like, one, that's a awesome technical feat because Just Cause was an open world game.
Yeah, big open world game.
Yeah, it's huge. But there's nothing really else here that is just like Tomb Raider 25th anniversary. We get it. You've been releasing Tomb Raider for the last several games in the last 5 years, so
where's the next game?
Sure.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider was a few years ago. Where's the new one? Do
you think the fan base for Tomb Raider is the same? Not fan base, but the interest in Tomb Raider is the same or stronger than it was back in the day?
I think so. Or I think the new Tomb Raider fan base is stronger than it was back in the day. And the reason I say that is if you played the originals back on the PC and like the PlayStation 1 and stuff like that, like they were really cool for the time because it was like new. Right. It was like this new action adventure. She's flipping around and double pistols and everything like that. And then the Tomb Raider series, like after I think it was after 3, it was like they just got worse and worse every time they came out with a new one. And it was like nobody cared anymore. Like there was like Legend and Angel of Darkness and all those games. And like it was just kind of like they were just throwing games out there and no one really cared. And then the reboot happened and people were like, yeah, it's Tomb Raider, fucking who cares? And then the 2013, I think it was, when that reboot came out, or maybe even earlier than that, that game was awesome. And it was like, it's just Uncharted. And it's like, yeah, and Uncharted is great. So like they rebooted Lara Croft and they made her Nathan Drake. And that was cool. The
2013 one was the one that we went to go see at the AMD booth at at E3.
Yeah,
right?
where they had that ultra wide, like super crazy image of it. Yeah, it was like the dude had like a whole thing about it where you can like look around. Yeah, but yeah, because of the Tomb Raider reboot that was so good, and then Rise of the Tomb Raider was good, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was good. I think now you're in a better place, and the fandom is going to be even bigger now.
Yeah,
because they have like 3 established games that are all good, not just waiting for it to fall downhill like it did before.
Yeah, I think I think because of the name, it kind of stapled it onto a gaming classic, but also because of the new age gamer group, and the way of the state of society that it is right now. It's more welcome to see a female hero go up towards a kind of an open world game, but it's just not the norm that was there before. Like you had Blood Rain, right? But that clearly was selling for the worst reasons. Like scantily clad boob lady with leather clothing or whatever, redhead, and just going off and killing things.
I completely forgot that was a thing until you just said Blood Rain. It's like I would have completely blacked that out of my mind if you had not just mentioned Blood Rain.
But even for the new Tomb Raider stuff,
even the reboot movie was good.
Yeah. But it
like
wasn't trying
not
to
the whole
be
Jolie stuff, but like it was actually pretty good.
But you can clearly see 2 distinct differences. Like Jolie's old classic Tomb Raider is playing to the hands of more of male players.
Yeah.
And the new one is playing is playing to the hand of all players because it's not trying to be overly sexualized. It's not trying to be crazy like that.
Yeah. No, she's just a badass killing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I kind of want to play that reboot again, that 2013 one.
Yeah.
God, that game was so good.
Yeah.
Man, I love that game. Jeez.
I got pretty far, but I got to a point where I'm just like stuck because I don't know where to go. And that was the only time I've hit a brick wall with that game because it's very
Metroidvania. A lot of backtracking, a lot of like, oh, now I have a climbing pick. Now I can finally go back and get over here. Or like now I've got I think there's like you had to have like a rope dart or something like that to get through certain locked walls or something like that. There was like, it was very backtracky, but I loved it.
It's just weird because I was able to get past the game up until that point where like the place is burning down and you're trying to get out of there from that little village. And I'm just like, where do I go? Because I kept dying everywhere.
Yeah.
Underworld was my favorite. 2013 was good too. Didn't like Shadow at all.
I like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I thought it was really good. They introduced more of a open world system to it where you actively take quests from people. It wasn't just like pointing Lara on like on her way the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool touch just to add that in. It had a few problems, like the climbing mechanic. I don't know if they changed engines or something. The climbing was kind of weird in that game. Like she missed a lot. Like, like jumping from one side of something to another. Like which I mean that happens every now and then. But I like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I thought it was better than Rise of the Tomb Raider, but that's not saying Rise of the Tomb Raider was bad. I thought they were both I thought all 3 of them was great.
Yeah.
But no, Square Enix, see what they're showing off.
Yeah.
Probably going to be some more RPGs.
This is on March 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and 5 p.m. General Mountain Time. Mm-hmm. So check it out if you're interested in Square Enix and what they have for this upcoming
Greenwich Mean Time, GMT.
Is it? Greenwich Mean Time?
Well, you said GMT, right?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I thought it was General Mountain Time. Or whatever.
Yeah. There's Mountain Time, like MDT or MST, depending on. There's Mountain Daylight Time versus Mountain Standard Time.
I'm not worldly, man.
It's not Mexican time either, Joe.
It's not Mexican time. I don't care. Is it in the Pacific time? Then that's fine. Yeah. Whatever other part of the world you really
GMT is like London, England, stuff like that. Why do we not have a world time? Exactly. if you deal in the IT world like Joel and I do, then we have this thing called UTC, which
Oh
is
my
like the world
God.
time, and it's the worst thing ever. But it's all like some of these, like Microsoft uses it, and like all these other companies use it.
The
It's
logs are the worst.
Yeah.
Holy crap! It's like, okay, this happened at what time? So you mean here or in server time UTC?
in
stuff?
UTC, which is for us, it's -8. So it's like, so you're constantly like reading logs wrong, and you're like, no, dude, he just did that like a second ago. It's like, that was yesterday, bro. And you're like,
yeah.
damn it.
As if you couldn't tell, we work in IT,
Yeah.
and just the smallest things make us rage quit on things.
Yeah. Yeah,
for that.
UTC, that would be world time, because that's all we deal with in the IT world.
Yeah, we just -8 everything.
Yeah, it's the worst.
All right, let's get out of here. Mel, you got anything for the chats and the stream?
What are you playing, Mel?
Basically, I'm not playing anything because I have no computer. So
Why
I
you
have
gotta
to
bring
wait
that
till,
up, Clay?
Yeah, I gotta wait until Monday to get my power supply because
You know, if she,
UPS.
if she had a console,
delayed.
she'd probably be fine.
Shut up, Clay.
I'm not. The only time I ever touch my
Little
console is to
Nintendo
watch
Switch,
shows.
little,
We get it, man.
get a little Switch action going on there.
You got it. You work
Yeah.
for the consoles. I got it.
Little Xbox,
Nothing wrong with consoles. Yeah. Mel, did you get a tracking number for it, and you know it's already on the way, or they
Yeah,
just said
They gave us the tracking number. It was supposed to come in yesterday, but it was delayed until Monday, and it's, I kid you not, 2 hours away. An hour, but still.
Your shipping facility's like next door, and you're like, guys, can I just have it? And they're
Hey,
like,
just toss
sorry, Monday.
no can do.
Can't do
I'll
it.
just break down the door. So like, I'm getting my damn package. This is
Like-
mine. I'm gone.
It's still on the
Sorry, I'll pay
track.
for the
Sorry,
door
can't help you. And it's like,
No.
it's in your hand right now. Be like, no, it's not.
It's still my responsibility until I deliver it. Oops, I dropped it. Sorry.
Yep, sorry. Gonna have to do an insurance claim. It'll be 6 months.
Better arm
No,
in.
fuck no. Do not. No, I'll go on a tangent with fucking mail insurance. Fuck no.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Just like, oh, dropped it. Better put it back on the
Yep.
truck.
Yep, insurance claim. Be 3-4 months. Sorry about that.
I'll send you the power supply if that happens.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. I know how it feels to have a machine not running at all for more than a day or two, and I'm just like, oh.
Have you ever had to wait for for like your phone to be replaced by someone?
I don't break my shit, Clay.
I was gonna say I had, which in all fairness, I didn't break my shit either. But a few years ago, I had it was the Nexus 5X from Google.
Mm-hmm.
And it has this bug, right? Or it has this problem. And I saw like a lot of people complaining about it. So I know it wasn't just me, where it would just get stuck in this reboot loop and you can't break it. And so I had to get it replaced, and I have like the Google insurance plan and everything like that.
Mhm.
And it was like a 6-day period of no phone.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
for the longest time for Google, they would just send me the things and then a send back package first.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was like, oh yeah, sorry, we got to replace it. It'll be like 2 business days or whatever. But it was over a weekend. So it was like, and like, I don't know what happened, but I didn't get it for like 6 days. So it was literally like 6 days of like, I have to wait to go home to check the video game news.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest anxieties is usually
Yeah.
when something says, "Oh, by the way, that package has been delivered," and it's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
That is a big, huge one for me. And I'm just
That
like,
does happen every now and then. Like even like Amazon will do that to me.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'll get there like your device or your thing has been shipped and it's or delivered. And it's like, no, it hasn't. And then
Yeah.
you check the order and it's like, it'll be there on Tuesday. And it's like,
That has happened to me.
yeah. Or
what the
the
hell,
other
Amazon?
one. The other one that happens is usually it'll say, "Oh, it's out for delivery," and then you check back on it like after the time frame that they said it was, and then it says incorrect address, sending back to shipping. And I'm just like, what? What
swear, that has happened to me.
My phone number is on there. Just call me.
Yeah.
But whatever. Clearly, we have problems.
Yeah. Our
Customer service
mail
issues.
system is not the greatest, if terrible.
No.
Joel, are you
All
playing
right.
anything, or just Valheim, or what are you doing?
So I've been playing Valheim. I booted up Destiny 2 again. Started. I just play around and see what's going on in there. It definitely looks like it's gone through some changes. So I'm picking apart everything that has been changed. Now that the what is it? The sunsetting is going to be changing.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I've been downloading all the Dooms, all the classic games that I used to
Doom
play.
on Game Pass.
Yeah. Not only that, like I got Quake 3 Arena to play on a ultra wide. So I'm just like, I'm now on this kick of wanting to mod every single classic game that I've had and just play it in ultra wide mode. So clearly that 3080 is really working out, you know.
Well, I mean, if it can run Quake 3 Arena, that's
Very
impressive. Let me tell
very
you.
graphic intensive.
Yeah, the moment that it falls under 900 frames per second, it's broken.
That's it.
Minecraft.
Yeah, right. Play Minecraft RTX style on it. It's just like, I thought it would be better.
Yeah. Well, I'm not getting all my reflections correct here.
Yeah, something's wrong with this butt mapping.
Yeah.
Yogincha
says he's playing Like a Dragon. That's the newest Yakuza game.
Yeah.
He says, great game. I will say it was fun. Or I liked everything about it except that it's a turn-based game. Great story.
I have a question to ask you. Have you done the newest challenge for Overwatch yet?
The Pakimari?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you got that? I got it.
The new Roadhog skin? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
That's like the best skin they've ever given him. Like, it's awesome.
The little character on his nose skin thing.
So Google it real quick. Just say like Overwatch Pakimari. It's Pachimari, but it's like, or Pakimarchi, they're calling it right now because it's March. And it's like Roadhog has this new skin.
Where's Ben at? Pakimarchi?
Yeah, Pakimarchi. So that's the Pakimari. It's this little like onion thing. And if you do Pakimari with Roadhog, he has this new skin that's like, it's part of this event, so you have to win 9 games. And it's yeah, there he is. Right there.
An image.
Yeah, it's like, it's this event they're doing right now where if you win 9 games over the next week and a half, then you get this new Roadhog skin.
So
and I was like,
win 9 games in a row.
Yeah.
Not in a row.
No.
You just have to win 9 games. So 6 games, you get this emote for Junkrat right there. And then if you win another 3, you get 9, then you get this Roadhog skin. And it's like, yep, that's going to be my permanent Roadhog skin from now on. Which I don't even play Roadhog, so it's like, whatever.
What's the significance of this thing? Maybe I don't understand.
It's just this
skin.
little, it's just this, the Pakimari is just this thing in the
Roadhog,
Overwatch world.
yeah, for the lore of it, he's obviously on his belt says #1 fan. He loves that little Pachimari.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing for it.
Yeah. But it's like, sure, why not? I participate in all the Overwatch events just to unlock skins and crap, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah, this thing looks like a little onion with tentacles on it.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. That's pretty much what it is.
Am I missing something?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Roadhog is the type of guy that'll kill you because you step too loud. That's what Umbrow says. Yeah, it's Roadhog is a very violent criminal from Australia, so it's the fact that he's into these little cutie things, it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roadhog reminds me of Pyro from TF2. He's just
because of the mask?
No, because now that I look at it, yeah. But then also like he's a murderous person, but in his mind, I bet you he thinks he's the coolest thing.
That's the thing. It's like we don't know what goes on in his mind outside of like.
We don't even know what his face looks like.
Yeah, they've never shown his face, but like we don't. When Meet the Pyro came out, I know what you're talking about. When it turned out that he's just crazy and he sees everything, like it's like unicorns and and bubbles everywhere and stuff like that. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, Meet the Pyro.
Wasn't this like one of the last trailers?
I think that was the last one.
And it was just like 3 years later.
Yeah. That was the last one when it's.
Because I lost my shit when I saw this. I was like, "This is amazing."
I loved all of them. I thought they were all great. Actually, like Meet the Pyro and Meet the Medic were like my two favorites.
Yeah, with the
Meet the Medic, where he's like operating on the heavy and he's just like joking around and laughing and stuff. And
it is out to go meet and have his belly.
Yeah, Meet the Spy was great when he was talking about like hooking up with Scout's mom and stuff like that.
Oh my god!
Dude, TF2 was so good, man. That game was so good. I haven't played that game in ages. Yeah, it's like it shows what he actually sees, and he's just insane. But Roadhog, if you read the Overwatch comics, it's like he is a violent person, so I don't think he sees it the same way. He's just this thug criminal guy, but he happens to like cute little Pekimari things.
Bonk.
Yeah.
It's so weird, dog. Like somebody came up with this in Valve and just like, yep, I gotta animate that.
Yeah, TF2 was so good, man.
Oh man. He just sticks him in there and just burns down the barn.
So good.
So good. All right, let's get out of here, everyone. Thanks for joining the show this week. It'll be up.
Yo, Gensha, hit me up on Discord if you want to talk about Like a Dragon, because I will talk Yakuza all day.
Yeah, Joe Dubs. By the way, hi, Joe Dubs. I don't think I saw him here earlier.
Hey, Joe Dubs.
Back in the day, TF2 was great. I don't know. It was. I loaded it up recently. It's still TF2. It's still fun. It's still there's plenty of freaking players still just going through it.
Yeah, I was addicted to that game, man. It was so good.
Yeah, you had it with the orange box, right? Right.
I had it with the orange box on the 360. That's what I played it on.
I think the only downside for you was that consoles never got all the updates that PC got.
No, once basically they didn't get any of the updates. They got like security fixes, but once they started off with like the alternate weapons, like where you could swap out like certain guns for certain guns, or like alternate weapons, or I mean the hats thing was way later on. Even with that, Meet the Sniper, just headshot. But yeah, like once the alternate weapons came out, that's basically when the console stopped getting updates. So it was like, but the problem was there was even bug fixes that need to happen on the console, and they never even did those. So clearly, like Valve didn't care anymore.
That's crazy though, right? Because like Orange Box was literally like a three game title, right? Like
it was 5.
It was 5?
It was Half-Life 2 with episodes 1 and 2, and then Portal and TF2.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. That is awesome. Yeah. That is like, I think Valve is the only one that's ever done that with the Xbox going forward.
Yeah, I bought it. Well, I mean, it was on the PS3 also. I bought it just because I wanted to play TF2. I had never played a Half-Life game before, and I didn't even know what Portal was. And I was like, this entire thing is great.
But Portal was amazing.
Yeah. Portal was amazing. This is how console I am. I bought a copy of Half-Life on the PlayStation 2, and I went through that just so I could get the story and everything down. And then when I played Half-Life 2 and then episodes 1 and 2.
The original.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The first one.
Yeah.
So you had to deal with the gruesome AI of the military people.
Yeah, Half-Life 1 that's rough, man.
Yeah, dude, it's like they don't miss.
Yeah, Half-Life 1 is a tough game, especially if you're on PS2 controllers, which are not anywhere close to what modern controllers nowadays are. Like, there's a huge dead zone on both sticks. Yeah. But yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder if like had it received the updates, would that game on those consoles still be played today, multiplayer? I'm not saying that they don't. TF2, I'm not saying that they don't now, but would their success be a lot more if they received all the updates that PC players get to play?
I don't know, because you could say this about PC as well. There's a lot of competition right now. So unless you're just really in that TF2 esport kind of mind frame,
Yeah.
I don't know. Because even like TF2 still has a big following on PC, but if you look at, it's also got Call of Duty and it's got CSGO that it's competing with and Overwatch, things like that. Like your fan base just gets split, amongst all those. I don't think it would have that big of a following. Just, I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
I think I remember
I would still play it, but yeah.
Yeah. I remember the day that Team Fortress 2 went free to play.
I do too. Yeah.
And I remember a couple of people being pissed off about it because they just paid full price for the entire thing.
Yeah.
A couple days.
That's a lot of stuff, even nowadays.
Yeah. And then
but that happens, like I remember when Counter-Strike went free and I bought that when it came out.
I bought the actual hard box for that thing.
Yeah.
All right, I think we actually needed to get off here.
We are way beyond time.
2 hours here.
Yeah, we can talk video games all day.
Yeah.
All day.
But that's why we have a Discord channel. You should join it. We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Nerdjunkies.com/Discord. Take you right there. All right. Let's get out of here.
Cool. Thanks everybody for showing up. We will catch you all next week.
We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel.
Same nerd channel.
Yeah. Saturday, noons. I don't know what it is for you.
Noon Pacific time.
You're gonna have to
not
let us know.
Noon General Mountain time. Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Balloon Animal Time.
Yes. Gabbity-doo time. Skibbity pop pop pop.
All right, let's get out of here. See you later, everyone.
See ya.
Bye. Hearts. Love you guys. Bye.